Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Nuggets with Queen N. Today, let me give you a background story for today's topic because I need to give you a background story. So before the whole NSAS movement started, when I started this Nuggets with Queen N, I wanted to be dropping, interesting tips. But it's like as I started it, God has said, yes, Oshe platform. Let me give you a few things to talk about. You're looking for a topic? Let me give you some. So yeah, I had it dropped in my spirit to address something. I don't even know what gingered it, but it came and I looked at the topic. I said, it's not me that is going to address this one. No. It's not me. Like I don't think I am prepared or strong enough to address this one. So I've been dodging it, and NSAS came. It was a time to just leave a lot of things. So I was giving an excuse, this is not the time to put it out there. And when it got to this week, what video am I going to do for this week? I saw the topic again. I said, no, I'm still not prepared to handle it. But fast forward to this morning. So before filming this video, my best friend now puts up something on his WhatsApp status that literally reminds me. It's like, God is telling me, you're not running away. Unfortunately for you, you're not running away. So I'm finally here to discuss the topic that I was asked to discuss today. I'm sure people are wondering, it cannot be that massive. It is so. It is because we are going to be addressing the School of Christianity. Excelling at the School of Christianity. Now, I hope you can hear the bam-bamness of the topic to know why I ran away in the beginning. Because, who am I? It's like saying second-year students should come and teach first-year students how to pass university. But that is the topic. And obviously, I realized that this is not a topic that I can do in one episode because, I did promise that the nuggets are going to be short. So this is a topic that we're probably going to break up a couple of episodes. Let's just see how it goes. So today's subtopic is right living. Now, when God gave me this topic or when it dropped in my heart, what came to my mind was a lot of people think that the work stops once they accept Jesus. Like once they make that, altar call in church and they come out and say, yes, I accept Jesus, they just feel like that's the end. School abasa. That means like school has ended. They feel like that's the end. That's it. That's all of it. That's everything. And I was just like, that's so wrong. Like, the moment you say accept Jesus, that's actually when the school starts. That's when the work starts. That's when the School of Christianity starts. So it just dawned on me that actually accepting Jesus, that is your enrollment though. That is you saying, I am finally ready to go to school. I'm finally ready to study. And perfection is your graduation. And please, can you point to anybody that is perfect? Perfect. There's nobody. All of us are still dealing with one thing or the other. So that's why there's something Pastor Mike Todd says that is progression over perfection. And that is it. That is the journey that we are on. So today we are going to address what I believe is one of the first steps after you accept Christ. One of the very first things you should do, which is right living. You cannot say you accept Christ and carry on doing the things that you do. Now, you see why I said that? This sounds like second year students coming to teach first year students because in my heart of heart, I know that there are still things that I'm doing that it's work in progress. That's what I keep saying. It's work in progress. I'm still trying to fix it. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to fix it. So me telling you these things, I'm not perfect, but like I'm talking to both of us, right? I'm talking to all of us. We're all in this environment together. So when we talk about right living, what are a few things that should change about you? So you have come to enroll, in this beautiful School of Christianity. Say when you're in Rome, you behave like what? Romans. When you're in the school of Christianity, you behave like what? Christians. So let's start from there. What are the things that this wonderful, we have a very wonderful textbook. It's called the Bible. What are the things that this wonderful textbook tells us that we're supposed to start doing now that we have enrolled? One of the first things that, and for this lecture, we're depending on Ephesians chapter 4 and chapter 5 of this massive textbook. So just one book, a few chapters in the book to look at, and let's just see what I picked out that we should start doing. And then in follow-up episodes, we can go deeper into different things. But today, let's just give an overview of the things that we're supposed to be doing as we're now believing as Christians in the Christian University. First things first, always be humble, gentle, patient. Ephesians 4:2. You see that patience? I always used to say that of all the virtues God gave me, patience is not one of them. The way my blood is hot sometimes. The way my blood is very hot sometimes. And I also heard a few people come and tell me that I'm quite patient. I'm like, do you know me properly? Do you know me? Because I'm sure that I'm the same person my siblings nicknamed Fire in the house. I ain't got time. I ain't got patience. So I'm guilty of wanting that statement already. Another thing, we're supposed to show love and be tolerant with one another. It sounds like German to some people. Don't worry. But you see the cocoa, let's look at that from verse 25 of Ephesians 4. It starts breaking it down. Things that you should not be doing anymore. No more lying. It did not say no more telling black lie. You're allowed to tell white lie. It said what? No more lying. Do not let your anger lead you to sin, and do not remain angry all day. If you steal, stop stealing and start working. Earn an honest living. This includes all, for me, I wrote this includes all sugar daddy banter. I hope you know. Yes. Do not use harmful words, but only helpful words so that you do good to those who hear them. See, when I read this verse, it dawned on me that my words are actually very powerful. And sometimes all people need out there is a word of encouragement. If you use the right words, you can actually meet the need of somebody. But these are all the realizations you start getting when you enrolled in the School of Christianity. It says, get rid of all bitterness, anger, no more shouting and insults, no more hateful feelings of any sort. Be kind and tender-hearted to one another. Forgive one another as God has forgiven you. Am I knocking on some people's door? I believe I am. If you now go on to Ephesians 5, it tells you your life should be controlled by love. Everything you do should be controlled by love. No more sexual immorality. No more indecency. No more greed. All right? Do not use obscene, profane, or vulgar language. And it goes for that to tell you that none of you people engaging in these things would get a share of the kingdom. Do not be easily deceived by foolish words. No. When you enroll in this School of Christianity, of all your gettings, you must get wisdom. It's by force, by fire. Pray for it. People cannot just come and tell you foolish things and you believe. It says, do not be pressured into doing things in the dark. Instead, you be the one to start bringing people to light. Do not live like ignorant people, but like wise people. Make good use of every opportunity you have. It is foolish. So for me, I wrote, it is foolish not to try to find out what God wants you to do. Do not get drunk with wine, but instead be filled with the Spirit. Now, see, this whole should we drink or should we not drink is a completely different topic for a different day, because I realize everybody has different ideas. My idea might be different from your idea, but the summary of the matter from this verse is to not be drunk on wine, rather be drunk in the spirit, right? So these are a few things. Now, I realize that I'm not saying it with I'm not exactly the most serious human being, but the message is very serious. The message is very serious. When you accept Jesus Christ and you start this whole salvation journey and this whole Christian journey, a lot of things have to change about you. And those are the few things I've listed out. A lot of them have to change. Now, I'm not saying that the change is going to happen in a day, but you need to be intentional. You need to be mindful of the fact that those things have to change. So that's the whole point of you not thinking that the work stops the moment you say, I accept Jesus. The work begins. Because if you were doing all these things before, if you were a greedy somebody, if you were engaging in if you were engaging in indecency, if you were lying before, if you were not tolerant, if you were not patient, if you were not humble, your shoulder is the highest everywhere you go. These are things you have to start working on. People must see a difference. People must see a difference. People must know what you stand for. And I know it's hard because I know it's very hard. Even for me, it's hard. Like, these things are very hard. I told you as to how I'm not a very patient somebody. I'm learning. You need to forgive. I've been doing a lot of forgiveness. It looks like a lot of things I've been listening to recently about forgiveness. Now, it's not like I'm an unforgiving person. No. Don't take it out of context. The problem is I am a remembering person. So I carry a lot of things. You see this my head that doesn't look too big? I have a lot of things in there. So there are things people could have done to me, things, and I'll just remember and I'll start replaying it and rethinking it. And like, eh? So that's what happened. At some point, I literally had to pray to God to help me forget some of these things that I remember. Just take it out of my memory. It's occupying space for me to remember more important things, like the book I'm supposed to be reading. I remember. I cannot remember because things that people did to me somewhere is occupying space. And it actually worked. So now I don't remember. There are lots of things I don't remember the details of. There are lots of, like, there are some people that I see them and maybe I see their number and I'm like, why are we not talking? Then I know that something happened, but I can no longer remember the details of what happened. So it almost seems foolish for me not to talk to them anymore. What is the beef? There's no beef, so I'm moving past it. And forgiving, I'm also learning. Recently, I learned that. Because I used to wonder when people say, oh, forgive and forget. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? I cannot forget, right? And I recently learned that it's not that you will not remember. It's actually making a decision every time you remember to forgive. And I was just like, wow, this thing is deep. Anyway, I'm beginning to digress, right? I'm beginning to go into different places. The summary of this first video, this overview video, is just to let you know that accepting Jesus is not the end of your journey. It's not the end of your Christian journey. It is the beginning of a beautiful Christian journey. There's so much now you now need to do. There's so much now you now need to take on board. Everything you do now has to reflect your new life. You are now living a new life. You're no longer living the old life. So everything you do has to reflect the new life. Right? So that's the summary of today's video. Now, I don't know what we're going to expound on in the next video or in the follow-up video. I honestly make these videos as I feel it, more or less. But that's just really the one thing I wanted to pass across in this first video on School of Christianity and extending your Christianity. Your salvation is your enrollment. You've got work to do, baby. So if you've accepted Jesus in the past and you just stop there, you are still going about doing everything you were doing, uncle, it's time to reopen your file. It's time to reopen your file and start doing the things you're supposed to do. So I hope that some of these things make sense to you, and I hope that as we proceed to deal with more things, you learn. So once again, thank you for hanging out with me today. It was nice having you. Bye.